Hey, it's Tuesday, March 14th, 2017. I'm Jeff Tracy, and welcome to my blog. Today we're going to talk about investing, so I'll do a quick little disclaimer. I don't have any formal education, I don't have any certifications in this stuff, just done a lot of research, done a lot of reading, and so don't buy or sell or do anything based solely on what you hear today. So with that out of the way, I've been having really good conversations the last couple months with some folks about investing and how do we get started and trying to answer some questions kind of about what I do. And it really kind of comes down to two questions. First, how do I physically do it? How do I start doing it? And two, once I kind of figure out the how part, right, the what I use as my platform, you know, what kind of money do I put in there and what do I buy ultimately? So on the kind of the how part, it's easy, right? There's kind of two ways to go. First, you take a bag of money down to your broker and you say, here's what I got, here's what I hope to accomplish, and they take it and they manage it all for you. The other way is a self-directed account, which most of your large institutions are going to have, your Scottrade, your E-Trades, those types of things. And it's you decide what to buy and when and where and how. And they charge you a small fee and you manage it yourself. I got started with an app called Robinhood. And the good thing about Robinhood, it's really pretty easy to use. You tie your bank account to it, but it's free. So whereas some companies charge you a little bit of a fee to make the trades, Robinhood's absolutely free. So I'd encourage you, if you have some interest in that, check it out. Check with your bank, see what kind of services they have, and then do what's best for you. But once you kind of have that set up, we kind of spins forward to kind of three questions, right? What kind of money do I put in there, short-term, long-term, and ultimately what am I going to buy? And most of the information I get really comes from two sources. One is the Motley Fool, and the Motley Fool, they do a fantastic job. Lots of great quality podcasts, good content. Just they try to do things the right way, I feel, and I study, I read everything they write, I listen to just about everything they put out on podcast, and they have great services and everything, so I can't speak highly enough about them and what they do. The second is a guy named Josh Brown. Josh Brown is the CEO of Results Wealth Management, and he's a guy kind of like the Motley Fool, like tries to put common sense around investing, which I appreciate, right? He kind of makes it easy for me to understand, easy for me to kind of replicate, and has some good principles that I found, and I'm going to pass some of them along today. So check both those folks out, check Josh out, check the Motley Fool out. They do a great job. So on the first question, what kind of money should I set aside and try to do with this? Right? I never recommend, and we try not to, put any money in there that we're going to use or need within the next 3 to 5 years. Right, market's going to go up, it's going to go down. When we first got started, we put a little money in there, and for the first couple months, it was down 10%. Right, and that's going to happen. Right, that's just the way the market is. And so, if you're going to need that monny for house down payment, if you're going to need that money for kids, for something down the line that you think you may need in the fairly near term, don't put it in there because things are going to go up and down, and if you're not in it for a longer period than that, then you could get burned a little bit. Number two, I'm a long-term investor, right? I'm not a trader. I don't do any of that stuff. I try to buy and hold. And when Stacy and I talked about kind of what we wanted to invest in and what we wanted to look at, it was always, well, hey, what's that going to look like in 15, 20, 25, 30 years when we retire? What's that investment going to look like? So that's what we focus on, is more long-term, not the day trading stuff. And then finally, how do you pick the companies you like? And it can be overwhelming, right? When I first got started, there are thousands and thousands of companies and thousands of stocks you can buy. How do you know what to do? And so what I did is I just kind of started simple. I looked around and what are the 10 companies that I interact most with? Right? What are the 10 companies that impact me? And Amazon, right? Because everyone's on Amazon and everyone uses Amazon services. Facebook, right? Everyone's on Facebook. My family's on Facebook. All my friends are on Facebook. Let's look at Facebook. You're watching this on YouTube right now. Google owns YouTube, right? Look at Google, right? You Google search something. Go look at any ball field or any school that doesn't have a dress code or a dressing policy, a uniform policy, and everyone's in Under Armour, right? Every kid between 5 and 15 is in Under Armour, right? So maybe you look at that, right? So I'm not advocating any one of those companies, but those may not be bad places to look, right? Where do you eat? Where do you shop? Where do you buy your stuff at? Where do you spend your time? Do you go to movies? Do you kind of what do you do? So let me encourage you to think about those things, identify 10 companies, and then go do your research. Go look at your ratios and the things you need to look at to make your own decisions. So that's kind of it. I know a lot of people have asked, how did you get started and what do you do? That's the simplest way I can explain it, right? Go find a broker or find a good account that you want to manage yourself, and then find a little bit of money that you're not going to need in the next 3 to 5 years. Think on the long term, and then find some companies you interact with. So, until tomorrow, live well.